Hey everyone. So, how do the companies building artificial intelligence actually make their money? I mean, we hear about AI constantly, right? But the mechanics of how these platforms translate your everyday text prompts into multi-billion-dollar valuations, well, it can feel like a complete black box. But today, we are prying that box wide open in this explainer. Think about it. You probably interact with at least one of these literally every single day. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Midjourney. Whether you're, generating a quick image for a presentation deck or just trying to draft a tricky email, these tools have seamlessly woven themselves into our daily workflows.
Okay, let's dive into this, because here is the central mystery driving our explainer today. How exactly do these AI companies make billions of dollars? Sure, having a wildly popular app is one thing, but translating that hype into a sprawling, global economic engine, that requires a very specific set of business models.
Let's start with the AI money mystery, following the revenue.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to be looking at 5 distinct revenue streams: subscriptions, business services, API access, custom partnerships, and finally, cloud computing.
Starting right at the beginning with subscriptions, the front line.
Now, this is where most of us sit, on the front line of the AI economy, the individual consumer. Millions of users are happily opting to pay, 20 or 30 bucks a month. And why? Well, because running these AI models requires massive, and I mean absolutely massive computing power. So by paying that monthly subscription, you're essentially renting priority access to their servers. You're unlocking premium features, way faster response times, and getting your hands on the most capable models out there.
Moving right along to business integration and APIs.
Look, that consumer side we just talked about, that is truly just the tip of the iceberg. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive jump in financial scale between you, the everyday consumer, and the enterprise side. While millions of individuals are paying these relatively small monthly fees, large companies are pouring massive corporate budgets into this space. It's dramatically shifting the industry's entire financial center of gravity.
So what are these corporate giants actually buying with all that money? Efficiency. They're paying huge premiums to embed AI directly into their proprietary apps, their websites, and basically completely automate their customer support pipelines. For them, the immediate boost in operational efficiency completely justifies those heavy investments.
And that brings us to a highly lucrative technical mechanism called API access, or Application Programming Interface. Actually, think of it like a digital toll booth. Every single time a developer's software queries the AI model, say they want it to summarize a PDF or translate some text, a tiny fraction of a cent is paid. And that's based on tokens, which are basically just fragments of text being processed. Multiply that tiny token-based pricing by billions of requests a day, yeah, you've got a continuous, totally invisible stream of immense revenue running 24/7.
Next up, global partnerships and cloud. As we scale up the ladder, going from those basic consumer subscriptions to B2B services and those API tools we just covered, we finally hit the absolute highest tier: governments and global partners. We're talking a whole different scale here. At this level, AI companies aren't just, selling software access anymore. They are building highly specialized, custom AI infrastructure worth literally hundreds of millions of dollars for massive global entities.
And underpinning this whole shebang is cloud computing. Look, AI doesn't just run on thin air, right? It requires vast data centers packed to the brim with incredibly expensive, super power-hungry processors. Some tech giants earn their billions simply by renting out this massive physical infrastructure. Customers pay for the raw brute force computing power required to train and run these systems. It makes the cloud the absolute bedrock of the entire AI cash flow.
Which brings us to our final section. The revolution just began.
When you put all these pieces together, it's like a giant puzzle forming a massive, self-reinforcing flywheel. Think about it. As AI gets smarter, businesses grow more dependent on it. And that dependence? It drives even more subscriptions, more API usage, and more demand for cloud compute. All that massive revenue is then pumped right back into building even smarter models. It's a direct pipeline rocketing these tech giants straight to the top of the global economy.
And the crazy reality is, quote, this is only the beginning of the AI revolution. We are currently just looking at the foundational layers here. The momentum behind this entire industry, fueled by all these overlapping, continuous revenue streams we've talked about, it is virtually unstoppable.
So, this leaves us with a pretty critical thought to ponder. As global dependence on these incredibly wealthy systems grows day by day, what role will you play in this expanding AI ecosystem? Are you going to remain just a consumer, or will you leverage this understanding for your own growth? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.